Oh my God.
So you told Marty that Scott was the father of the baby?
Oh, Marty knew that Scott and I were together, and Scott was the only one that I was seeing. And he's smart enough to put it together.
In an interrogation room, Marty Grismer sat calm, measured, analytical. When detectives asked him directly,
"Did you kill her?"
No, I did not.
When they pressed further,
"Were you present that night?"
No, I wasn't.
Clear, controlled. But then came the detail that shifted everything. Detectives confronted him with what he had already admitted.
She borrowed my gun. She borrowed the car on there. She gave it back later.
That wasn't speculation. That was his own statement. Marty tried to redirect. He reframed himself as a bystander, even a victim.
What I know is that Paige had this arranged. That's all I know.
How do you know that?
Because I put 2 and 2 together on all this.
He claimed fear, claimed manipulation. But in another room, under oath and recording, Paige's words told a very different story. She described how he came to her apartment days after the murder, pulled out his phone, and said,
He wanted to prove what he had done.
She recalled him admitting he went inside, shot Desiree multiple times while she was sleeping, and staged it. She remembered the detail about the rental car, the jewelry box, the gloves. 2 narratives, same crime, completely different roles. But what actually happened on that day? Welcome back to my channel. Your support means a lot to me. On the morning of April 7th, 2013, the quiet routine of a Yakima County neighborhood shattered with a 911 call.
Sheriff's Office.
Hi, ma'am. This is Scott Sunford. I was robbed last weekend. I live at 320 North St. Hilaire. Anyways, after the robbery, I had an ADT alarm system installed, and they put it on a 1-week trial period where if anything went off, nobody would respond. And today at 324, 327, and 328, I had 3 sensors tripped, and I've been out of town with family for a funeral. My wife was home. And
did somebody break into the residence?
I don't know. I've been out of town. I'm just on my way back, and I haven't been able to get a hold of the wife, so I was just hoping somebody can come meet me out there. It's probably nothing, but I would feel better.
Scott Sunford told dispatchers he had come home and found his wife, 30-year-old art teacher Desiree Sunford, shot inside their bedroom. Patrol units arrived to a chaotic but controlled scene. Shell casings on the floor, signs of disturbance, and a back door that raised more questions than answers. Desiree had been shot multiple times while alone in her own home. What initially looked like a burglary quickly began to feel personal. Detectives started with the timeline. Who knew Scott would be out of town? Who knew Desiree would be home alone? They traced alarm system patterns, phone records, and the subtle movements of people in the couple's orbit. As relationships unfolded, so did complications. An affair, overlapping loyalties, jealousy, obsession. The circle tightened. Then came the anonymous tip. It pointed toward Marty Grismer, a quiet, intelligent acquaintance with access to firearms and an emotional attachment that ran deeper than it appeared. But suspicion isn't proof. Investigators needed something stronger than rumor. So they made a strategic move. Instead of confronting him outright, detectives equipped a cooperating witness with a recording device, a concealed wire. The goal wasn't a dramatic confession. It was something more subtle, spontaneous words, unrehearsed reactions, slips in tone. The wire captured conversations about guns, rental cars, and coded phrases that only someone with knowledge of the crime would understand. Once enough was gathered, detectives brought Marty in for questioning. Today we will look into interrogation of both Paige and Martin.
Sheriff's Office.
Hi, ma'am. This is Scott Sunford. I was robbed last weekend. I live at 320 North St. Hilaire. Anyways, after the robbery, I had an ADT alarm system installed, and they put it on a 1-week trial period where if anything went off, nobody would respond. And today at 324, 327, and 328, I had 3 sensors tripped, and I've been out of town with family for a funeral. My wife was home, And I haven't
Okay, did somebody break into the residence?
I don't know. I've been out of town. I'm just on my way back, and I haven't been able to get a hold of the wife, so I was just hoping somebody can come meet me out there. It's probably nothing, but I would feel better.
The case begins with what sounds routine. A concerned husband reporting alarm triggers. 3 sensor trips. No answer from his wife. A recent burglary. But experienced investigators know something. When alarms go off in tight succession at 3:24, 3:27, and 3:28 a.m., that's not random. That's movement. And movement creates a timeline.
And do you have your permission to keep recording?
Yes.
Okay, so obviously the big reason that I wanted to talk to you face to face was that we got the Crime Stoppers tip from you with some new information about the shooting.
Yep.
Did a little research based on the information that you sent us, and found a picture of Marty Grismer. Is that the gentleman that we're talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Would you mind just initialing and putting the date below that? Normally I would do a montage, but you were so specific with your description about who it was that I felt pretty comfortable.
He looks a little bit different now.
Okay. How does he look different now?
He has hair. I can show you. Oh. That's what he looks like.
Okay.
There's quite a difference.
Well, he was about 18 in that picture, and he's 10 years later.
Okay. So in the tip, you were pretty specific about some new information that's come to light. So why don't you just tell me in your own words what you've heard, how you heard it, and I think that's as good a place as any.
Last week, I had Scott over. He was there for a week, and we were arguing. And Marty, his wife, was my babysitter at one point, and we had been up all night arguing and talking. And I asked Marty to come over and get the baby.
As detectives sit down with Paige, they're not looking for drama. They're mapping relationships, affairs, pregnancies, jealousy, access. Marty isn't just a friend. He's emotionally invested. When motive and opportunity overlap inside a small social circle, the investigation stops being about strangers and starts being about proximity.
I told him what was going on, and he asked me if I wanted him to take care of this new woman like he did Des. And I asked him what he was talking about. The first time he came to see me, I was pregnant. We had just found out about 3 weeks before the shooting that I was pregnant. Marty was one of the first people that I told. And apparently, he decided that if the baby was Scott's like it was supposed to be, then Desiree would cause issues. Oh my God.
So you told Marty that Scott was the father of the baby?
Oh, Marty knew that Scott and I were together, and Scott was the only one that I was seeing. And he's smart enough to put it together. Like, he asked me for sure if it was Scott's, and I told him yeah, because at the time I thought that was the case.
Then the statement that changes everything. He asked me if I wanted him to take care of this new woman like he did Des. That isn't rumor. That's confession language. Suddenly, this isn't a burglary. It's a planned removal. And the motive shifts toward obsession, jealousy, and a perceived threat to a future that never fully existed.
The night of the shooting, you know, Scott and I went to dinner with a coworker. And I had asked him to come over, and I always paid his gas whenever he made extra trips. I was a little bit short on money, and I asked Marty if I could borrow $20. So he came over and dropped the money off. We sat and visited for 15 minutes or so, and then he went home because he had to work the next day. It was pretty late at night, but then I had my $60 that I could give to Scott for gas. So he already knew that Scott wasn't going to be home. What he told me on Wednesday was that he had gone home, gone to sleep for a couple of hours, and he got up. I can't look at that. He had an extra clip of some old ammo that he had bought a few years ago. He ran out all of the ammo in his backyard until he had a single clip left. He had a gun. It was untraceable, unregistered, and he said he took it. He made sure that everything was wiped down, completely clean, no fingerprints on anything, none of the bullets, reloaded the clip. He turned his phone off before he left the house, and he took 24 out the back way to Scott's house. Marty was my best friend for a long time.
Now the details become disturbingly specific. Extra ammunition, an untraceable gun, a rental car, phone powered off, key hidden outside, entry through the front door. These aren't emotional outbursts. These are calculated steps. And when someone knows the layout of a house, that knowledge isn't random. It was earned.
What did you, at the end of that conversation where he dropped all this on you, how did that conversation end? What did you tell him?
He just said that he had to go home.
Investigators discuss strategies to obtain direct statements from the suspect through investigative techniques. The goal is to capture unfiltered words that clarify involvement and intent.
It was getting late. He said I had to go shopping or something.
Have you talked to him since then?
Yeah. I talked to him for a couple of minutes at work the other day, and sent him a message yesterday to find out if he was working through the shutdown or not. Yeah, that's it. Our relationship is pretty much come to a standstill.
Yeah, this definitely throws a monkey wrench into things, I would say.
It's not been a good week. That's for sure.
If you initiated another conversation with him, do you think he would talk to you about it more?
I'm sure he would. He worships the ground I walk on. He's obsessed with me.
Is that something that you would consider?
That's all I could think about the last 2 days.
What if there was a situation where we could put a wire on you? Would you be willing to talk to him with a wire on?
At this point, detectives face a critical decision. They have a secondhand confession, but no direct admission. So they pivot to psychology. if Marty truly believes Paige trusts him. A recorded conversation could expose what interrogation cannot. And in cases like this, unguarded words often carry more weight than 100 accusations.
Is there any chance that when we pick him up, is there any chance that he's going to say that, yeah, I did this for Paige and she knew about it, she told me to do it?
I think that's always a chance, but I couldn't see him trying to do that. He's always been a very honest person, as far as I know.
And if he did say that, it'd be a total lie. You didn't.
Wow. Yeah.
And the question's got to be asked.
Yeah.
Because it will be asked,
Right.
as we go forward.
I cried more after Desiree died than Scott did. It hit me a lot harder.
Did you and Scott live together for a while after that?
No, we were pretty inseparable there for probably a month or so. And then his depression kicked in. And we kind of drifted apart. We talked about him moving in. And then he had this new girlfriend or whatever. Moved in with her instead. Again.
So you thought a little bit about wearing a wire. Have you given any thought to when or where the safest place to meet him might be?
We work together, but I would really hate to do it at work.
Yeah, I don't think that probably wouldn't be very discreet. Yeah.
At this stage, detectives aren't chasing rumors. They're building a trap that records unfiltered truth. Paige is describing a suspect who's emotionally dependent on her, meaning one phone call could pull him into a controlled conversation. But a wire isn't Hollywood. It's risk management, location, timing, and making sure nobody gets hurt when egos and betrayal collide.
You guys are close enough to where you could call him and say, hey, meet me here, and it wouldn't be a big deal. You guys
pretty much
do stuff together.
If I said, hey, I need to see you or I want to talk, he's pretty well. He might have something the wife needs to be done, and then he'll see me. But usually, especially if I can catch him right as he's leaving work, he's usually got some time. I didn't sleep at all last night trying to figure everything out. I don't know whether to feel guilty or betrayed.
Does Scott Sr. know about this new information?
I guess and no. We talked a little bit about it the other night. Before I gave all of the rest of the information, he told me that I had to say everything. I didn't tell him that I heard it directly from him.
What is his take on telling Scott?
He's keeping quiet and letting me decide when to do that.
No. I think that's a tough call. That's a touchy situation because we don't want to end up with another shooting on our hands because any man's natural reaction when they find something like that.
That was his dad's initial reaction was, let me meet him.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I've already put in tips. I'm trying to get this going.
Listen closely to Paige's conflict. I don't know whether to feel guilty or betrayed. That's not just emotion, it's psychological bonding. She's torn between protecting someone who helped her and the reality that a woman was hunted in her own home. Detectives keep the pressure subtle. They don't argue. They steer her toward specifics that can't be walked back later.
He said, he told you specifically that the jewelry box that he took from Desiree is in his closet at his dad's house still, and he could bring it and show it to you?
And he told me that he had stashed it in the closet at his dad's house and that he would bring it to me if I wanted to see it. Because I asked him, how did I know he was telling the truth?
Did he offer any other signs of proof? Was there any other evidence that he could give that?
I don't think so. The jewelry box was already mentioned.
Did he say why he took that?
I didn't even ask. It seems like such an insignificant detail. It honestly never even occurred to me to ask. I guess I thought later, why the little one and not the big one?
You think it's just filled with junk jewelry or mismatched jewelry?
Yeah, if I remember right. That was what she kept in there. She had a few different jewelry boxes.
What about the burglary that happened the week before? Did he talk about that at all? Did he admit any involvement in what was going on there?
No.
He was just aware of it.
It was a perfect storm.
Just aware that there was a board on the window.
Right. He knew about that because originally Scott had thought that Dylan was the one that broke in.
Now, the conversation shifts from feelings to verifiable details. The jewelry box in his closet, the phone being shut off during the drive, the rental car, the work schedule, the way he followed the story closely. Those details matter because they create a pattern, not just opportunity, but post-crime behavior. And that's where liars slip. Timelines don't forgive mistakes.
I'm sure when we meet with the wire guys, they'll have a lot of different suggestions and things like that. Do you have any other questions for us today? Okay. Well, I really appreciate you coming forward with this information. And it's something that we're going to take very seriously and work on right away. But I know that it took a lot of courage for you to come and talk to us, being put in a position that you are.
I was going to call you originally, actually, and I wasn't sure if you were still the detective on the case or not, and that's why I went with the anonymous tip.
Yeah. I would like to have you sign this sworn affidavit. It's I'm going to ask you to initial where it says, I orally gave this statement to the officer, and the officer recorded what I said. I gave the officer permission to record the statement. And then I'm going to ask you to sign below where it says, I understand that this statement may be used in a court of law and may be used by a judge in determining the existence of probable cause for any charges that may be filed as a result of the described incident. This statement is truthful and accurate, and I made it voluntarily, knowingly, and intelligently without any threats or promises of any kind. I certify or declare under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Washington that the foregoing is true and correct. Does that sound accurate?
Yes.
Just ask you to initial there and sign down there.
This is the moment the case turns official. Paige signs a sworn statement, the kind that can support probable cause and unlock surveillance steps. Detectives aren't celebrating yet because they still need Marty in his own words. But the direction is clear. Once physical evidence and consistent details point one way, the system moves fast, and eventually, it ends with a plea that closes the door even without a full confession.
I tell you completely and honestly, not playing the game, she has freaking thrown you under the bus, sold you out, told us all of her version of the truth. She talked about getting her out of the way. She talked about it'd be better if she was gone. She kept talking about that. And then she turns up dead on there.
Did she say that she wanted her dead?
A couple times she had insinuated she wanted her gone. I After the fact, I thought she meant dead, because Des turned up dead. Didn't kill anyone. She's fucking pinning this shit on me.
It's Detective Sam Peralt, Yakima County Sheriff's Office. Case number 13C-04701. Today's date is August 8, 2014. The time right now is 14:55 hours. Location is Moses Lake, Washington. We're preparing to deploy the wire.
Okay, and just to clarify, if something happens, you will have units coming in to you, okay?
Right.
What is the word that we are using if something bad happens that you were going to say?
Avalanche.
This is a good spot to come invest on.
Hopefully this works.
Good feeling.
This isn't an interrogation room yet. It's a controlled experiment. Detectives deploy a wire like a chess move. Capture spontaneous words before the suspect can prepare a story. Even the code word avalanche tells you how real the risk is. They're not hunting a confession. They're hunting unguarded truth.
Yeah.
No. That one mine? I've lost track of exactly what's being said. What is it?
I would love to see her this weekend. Please.
Oh, right, because she's leaving, right?
All that is a dog and a cat.
So I was thinking about that because Scott's got that race with the other girl next weekend. So I was thinking about she's not going to be over there. I can go visit my friend now. Hazelnuts. Delicious. Oh, sorry.
Almost.
I kind of threw it. I know. I kind of threw it at you. Aw. So are you going to be late home today?
I'm going to McDonald's and I'm stopping off at Rite Aid. You know how those lines are on Rite Aid.
Right. So you've got a few minutes. Good. I'm glad I never get to see you ever.
And there'll be, work this coming week and then after.
Yeah. So that whole me being on day shift thing. So.
For some reason I got into, for some reason kind of become friends and talking about our romantic lives and things like that.
Because he's so sad. He's been single for 6 years.
I just watched him, have issues with guilt. He called him in front of me in my office on like 10 minutes. I was just sitting there. It was just, I love how everyone is just so super comfortable around me.
Wow.
But, yeah.
Fucking idiot.
Watch how normal it feels. Coffee orders, jokes, compliments, workplace gossip. That's intentional. When someone is relaxed, their guard drops, their speech becomes natural, and they reveal things without realizing it. The small talk isn't filler. It's the trap's camouflage.
But
You'll survive.
right, his dad took me out on a ride yesterday. That was really awesome. We went down by Colotis. Never been down there before. It was really, really pretty. We stopped off at a couple of parks. Levy and something else. Yeah, we've got that thing with my dad tonight. We get to play Happy Family.
Even though everything is just completely broken.
Shattered and going to shit, pretty much, yeah. Not really happy about that.
Nope.
There's so many horns. There was somebody over there blowing their horn for like 5 minutes before you came. Okay, I wasn't actually here 5 minutes before you came, so.
Yeah.
Like, I got here, I was just like, honk, and then honk, honk, honk. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? I have nasty stuff all over my hands.
Oh.
Right there too. Oh. Thank you. Ugh. That's disgusting. Right. Do you have your phone on you?
Yes.
Put it in the car. Give me a minute of your time with nobody around. Because I know that you said that there was no evidence. So I'm just wondering for sure if there's nothing left.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have anything. Never done anything.
You can't freak me out, put me in full-on fucking panic mode, and then just be like, nope, I don't know what you're talking about.
Then comes the shift. Put your phone in the car. Give me a minute with nobody around. That's psychological control. It isolates the moment, removes distractions, and forces direct engagement. Now Paige can test him, and detectives can hear how he reacts when the topic turns dangerous.
There's nothing really written or anything on anything. There's nothing else with that. This is clear as mud, right?
Right, that... So the jewelry box?
What?
The jewelry box?
I don't know about your jewelry box. I don't have one.
Can you not just stop straight for a second? With nobody listening?
Well, the only jewelry box I have is one Brett has. That doesn't mean that there's nothing in it, other than just don't have it with them.
Okay. Well, I just want to make sure that in case anything happens.
There's nothing. There's no president.
I didn't know if you moved everything from your dad's or not.
My dad has nothing at his house of mine except my guns.
Okay. So, I got some stuff. And, I was wondering if you'd been back out to the bunker. Because I was thinking that's probably the easiest place for me to get to right now.
I haven't been out there in a while.
I couldn't remember exactly where it was. I was just going to go driving around and try to find it. I've got a little bit of time tonight before
I think it's up Harrison Road where that place is at.
Okay.
It's like 4 miles out there, something like that, where that place is at. Well, again, I haven't been there in a year or whatever.
This is the first pressure spike. Paige drops the keyword, jewelry box. His denial is instant, too fast. That's the tell. Innocent people ask questions. Guilty people shut doors. Detectives use this because an emotional reaction to a tiny detail can reveal what the suspect fears most.
You're in a stressful situation out there, really with everything in your life.
Right. Not eating or sleeping. Mm-hmm. I've smoked a carton and a half since last Friday.
Yeah. I can believe that.
Thirsty, were you?
I'm always thirsty. Especially for me.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
You taste the best, so. I have this stuff.
Do you now?
Try it off.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Too long.
So have you guys gotten into house hunting yet?
Yes, we have started.
You have started. Find anything good?
Nothing yet. Making sure my credit rating is all good enough. It should be on there. I got enough credit because I got them all paid up, though. So.
Oh, So she's not completely bankrupted you then.
No. Getting everything, leveled out and all that, with her income coming in now helps a little bit. But, she's doing some state program and all that stuff, and training and all that stuff. She's good.
Oh, is she getting the welfare money?
She is again. That's tough to balance out her own path on her. She's got her own credit cards. She's got her own credit. That means I told her, I'm not. Besides paying the activation people, it's yours. You gotta pay it, or I'm not touching it. You
want to start paying down my debt to help my credit rating? Shit.
Hey, I pay a lot of money to you.
I know, I owe you a lot.
$1,300.
Is it $10,300?
Still is, yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Because you never paid me back the other $600 or so, $500 for your rent. You know that one?
Oh, I was gonna say the $400 for the Porsche.
Well, and the rent.
That I never got. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's keeping it there.
Now the conversation pivots to money, debt, rent, babysitting. You owe me. Detectives love this because financial stress creates leverage and motive. When someone feels used, they start talking more emotionally, and emotional people make mistakes. This part isn't about cash. It's about control and resentment.
Just give me a second here to get myself organized a little bit. I'm going to tell you exactly why we're here and why we wanted to speak to you.
Okay.
As I told you out in the field, my name's Sam Peralt. This is Dave Johnson. We're detectives with the Yakima County Sheriff's Office.
Okay.
And we're investigating the shooting of Desiree Sunford that happened on or about April 7th, 2013 in Yakima County. Our case number is 13C04701. Today's date is November 13th, 2014. We're at the Moses Lake Police Department, and you are Marty Grisma?
Yes, that's my name.
Okay, what's your full name?
Marty Dean Grisma.
Okay, and what's your date of birth?
4/25/87.
Okay, and what's your address?
Right now it's 1133 North Grape Drive, apartment D104.
Okay. And like I told you, we're investigating this shooting, this homicide that happened last year. And to be honest with you, your name was never on our radar. We didn't have any reason to come and talk to you, but then we got this Crime Stoppers tip, just anonymous Crime Stoppers tip saying that Marty Grismer shot that lady, basically, And so...
I met her once.
Okay. Because of that, then we said, well, we need to talk to this Marty Grismer.
Yeah.
Whether or not just an anonymous tip doesn't mean much, but we have to do our jobs and follow up on it.
Back in the interview room, detectives opened softly. You were never on our radar. That's strategic. It makes Marty feel safe enough to talk after Miranda. But notice the hook, anonymous tip plus a Glock 9mm. It sounds casual, yet it quietly locks him into the timeline and the weapon type.
My wife didn't want to be babysitting anymore, and she stopped talking to me for a month and a half and just kind of started cutting off contact and ties and all that. So.
You said she was the best manager with?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
She was my best friend, so I had to be my best man.
Okay. All right. That's the first.
Well, she was pregnant with Philip at the time, too, so she was a pregnant best man.
All right.
So.
Were you two involved in a sexual relationship at one time?
Not exactly, no. We just fooled around a bit on there early on, but I think she was kind of just using me as cover for hiding relationships with Scott and other things, so that ended very quickly.
So, not exactly, you guys didn't have intercourse, but you do other things?
Yes, that's exactly right.
Okay. And when was that going on?
That was going on until about December of 2012.
Okay.
That was shortly after we met. From November through December, we had a couple of encounters on there. And then after that, it would be, give her a massage here and there, things like that when she was stressed. That was pretty much it.
Okay. And when did you marry your wife?
September of 2013.
Okay.
So this all ended that aspect before that.
Okay. And then, so were you dating your wife during that same period? Like just
Oh, no. My wife and I only met in the middle of June of 2013.
Okay. Oh, so quick love at first sight?
Absolutely.
You met June and then married?
It was around June. So we met on a dating site, and then we met.
Oh, okay.
So we dated and fell in love and just got married.
Okay.
I love her and Corbin to death on there.
Corbin,
he was a little boy.
He's your stepson. So she brought him to the marriage. Yeah, he's a cute kid. He looks enough like you. I believe he was your son.
He's an amazing kid. I love him to death.
Yeah.
I live for him and Beth on there, trying to provide for them. It's been stressful here because what happened at work on there. I've had 2 suspensions here and layoffs on there, and it's been hard.
Yeah. Okay. You mentioned the suspensions. You work at Basic American Foods, and so does Paige. Mm-hmm. And as I was doing my research, trying to figure out who you are or where you'd be, where I could contact you.
At this stage, detectives shift from information gathering to psychological leverage. They introduce his son into the conversation, not as a threat, but as a moral anchor. The message is clear. Protecting Paige could cost him his future with his child. This reframes loyalty as self-destruction.
And they said that you were suspended from work for having gun parts at work. Mm-hmm. Okay, tell me about that. What kind of gun parts are we talking about?
I had a gun barrel that I left there.
A gun barrel?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other parts?
That was it, I believe.
Okay, just the barrel? Mm-hmm. What kind of barrel is it?
I don't recall what kind it was offhand.
Don't remember the brand?
No, I don't.
Okay. And where is that barrel from?
It was just a spare part I had that I was selling.
Okay. And so how did it end up at work?
I had a seller fault that I had contacted, and they backed out. A buyer backed out on it. This was after my first suspension on it, because I was trying to liquidate some assets, and I was having a really bad day that day, and I was going to sell off some of my parts, and that was a day that my dad helped me out on there, because I was going to sell off all my guns and try to make rent, try to pay off my bills. And
so you weren't getting paid while you were on suspension?
No.
Okay.
I was going to sell off pretty much all my guns and try to make it. I mean, before I got my wife and before everything on there, and I bought my car outright. I was going to school, and then I paid off a lot of debts and a lot of different things on there, just trying to get my head above water and then try to get things taken care of on there. And my job, when I had the team lead job, I was just surviving month to month on there with things. And I got a pay cut here of $300 a paycheck every 2 weeks. I lost $600 a month there.
I know that hurts.
It does a lot, and I'm going from looking at the place where I'm at right now to I'm going to have to try to get low-income apartments, or I'm going to have to move over to the Yakima area, see where I live with my in-laws over there, try to find a different job.
So when did you first take the gun barrel to work then?
I took it to work after my last suspension because I had it with me. It was a part I picked up I was going to sell.
Okay. And who did you get it from?
I don't recall. I've had it for like a year or so. I got it from a person in trade.
How long you had? I'm sorry.
It was around a year, a little bit less, I think.
Here comes the legal kill shot. The barrel recovered from his workplace matches the slugs. Now it's no longer about what he says. It's about what science can prove. Detectives corner him with a reality he can't debate. And when the evidence becomes immovable, the story starts changing.
Less than a year?
Yeah. Again, I bought and sold and traded gun parts from people.
So you didn't buy it new?
Not that I recall.
Do you recall who you traded it for or who you bought it from?
I know I bought it from someone locally here. I just don't recall because it was just we were horse swapping a whole bunch of parts between different things. So
You have no idea. So about when did you take possession of it?
I think it was August or September of last year. It was around the time I got married.
Is there any chance that you got that barrel from Paige or Scott?
It's possible, but I don't recall. I've gotten some things from Scott offhand, but I don't recall I got.
You've gotten gun parts from Scott?
I asked him for ammunition, different things on it, because he showed me guns that he had and ammunition on there. But again, I don't recall specifically on there. I don't recall if I got it from him or an acquaintance of his. So.
Could you have gotten it from Paige?
It's possible, but I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I don't think I've ever gotten anything from Paige.
Or Scott?
Well, Scott, I believe I have, but again, it's been so long I don't recall specifically.
You've gotten gun parts from Scott?
I believe I've investigated ammunition from him. I don't recall if I ever got any from him or not. I think I got some once or twice on that. I don't recall if I got this from him or not.
You got ammunition from Scott?
Well, I wanted ammunition, different things on there because he was in the military. I was kind of picked his brain about that because that was his kind of specialty on there. So.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever get a gun barrel from Scott?
I don't recall if I did or didn't.
Okay. If I said that this was a lone wolf barrel, would that ring a bell?
It might on that. Could be. I don't recall if it is or isn't though.
I saw a picture of it. It's got a wolf etched on the top of it.
Okay.
And I have a lone wolf barrel in my gun. That's how I know. I recognize the logo.
It could be. I don't recall. I mean, I've bought a lot of gun parts over the years. I've had a lot. So.
Did you ever buy new gun barrels from Lone Wolf?
I think I have before.
This is the break. Marty doesn't confess to pulling the trigger, but he admits the two things that can destroy him in court. He loaned Paige the gun, and Paige had access to his rental car that night. From a legal perspective, that's devastating because it ties him to the murder instrument and the logistics, and it gives prosecutors a pathway to argue knowledge, participation, or cover.
So you're saying she got the gun in February of 13, gave it back to you in May of 13? Did you ever go shooting that gun with her?
I've never gone shooting with Paige. She asked multiple times on there for me to take her shooting or to go shooting on, and I never did.
Around April of 2013, were you driving a rental car for a while?
Yeah, my car was in the shop.
What kind of rental car were you driving?
I think it was a Chevy, but I don't.
What color was it?
I think it was black or blue.
Where did you rent it from?
I didn't rent it. The insurance company did.
But was it your Moses Lake or somewhere else?
They dropped it off. I think they rented it here. I remember I dropped it back off at the airport.
What's your insurance company?
Currently it's Nationwide, but I think I had either Geico or Progressive at the time. Why does that?
Geico or Progressive, you thought?
I think I don't recall. I've changed it insurance.
Which rental outfit? Did you drop it off with at the airport?
The one by the fuel tanks. I think it's Hertz, but I don't know. Why?
Did that car drive to Yakima on the night of April 6th, morning of April 7th, 2013?
I don't know. I didn't have the car that night.
Who had it?
I was asleep at my house. Paige asked to borrow the car.
Tell us about that.
This is a turning point. Marty admits he gave Paige the gun and the rental car. Legally, that's devastating. Even without a confession to pulling the trigger, he's now tied directly to the murder weapon and transportation. From here forward, it's about degree of involvement, not innocence.
Did you burn any clothes out there in the burn barrels?
From time to time.
Why would you burn them?
Ratty old jeans and things like that. What else would I do with them?
Give them a good go.
Like us gas, we burn plastic, we burn all kinds of things. I know it's against the law, but
Just anything. So there, we may find some burned clothing in those burn barrels.
I don't know if you'll find anything in there or not. I haven't been there in a while.
Any chance we find burned clothing Paige's size?
I can't imagine why you would have never burned any of her clothing.
Even after at that night when the car came back, you and Paige didn't burn clothes in the burn barrels at your dad's?
I wasn't with Paige that night. She dropped the car back off. She didn't ask me to dispose of any clothing after that. She held onto the gun for another month or two on there, and then she returned it.
She said that the clothes were burned at your dad's. The clothes that were worn during the murder were burned at your dad's.
She didn't ask me to burn anything. I didn't burn any clothes at my dad's.
You wear Dr. Scholl's shoes?
I have previously on there. I was still at my dad's if I hadn't.
What size?
It varies on there I've worn from a 12 to a 14 on there usually.
12 to 14?
It depends on the style and fit.
You ever wear Dr. Scholl's with the Velcro over the top?
No, actually I don't. I don't like the Velcro shoes.
Have you ever had any?
I don't think so. I always buy tie-up basic shoes because I don't like the way Velcro shoes fit. I always find them loose. I like them tight on my ankle. I have weak ankles from being when I was a kid, so I don't buy the Velcro ones because they're really not my style.
There were some bloody shoe prints left at the crime scene the night of the murder. And they were Dr. Scholl's, obviously.
Since you're asking, yeah.
What are the odds you think that those will match your size foot?
Detectives introduce the barrel, the burn barrels, and the shoe prints. Each question narrows physical linkage. They aren't accusing outright. They're forcing him to imagine forensic confirmation. This increases cognitive pressure and destabilizes his confidence.
Do you really believe that I'm that much of a fool?
Well,
because what other words?
I'm giving you every opportunity you can to tell us the truth. Detective Peralt's giving you every opportunity. And you piss away every time you get to a certain point. But then again, you get a little clarity and you go, oh, okay. Yeah, I gave her the gun. Oh, okay, I've added up things.
Do you ever want to think anyone that you knew was capable of this?
But I'm not going to go to jail for him.
No.
I'm not going to jail for him.
I didn't drive her there.
I'm not necessarily saying you drove her. You know exactly what happened, Marty. You know exactly what happened.
How would I know exactly what happened?
Because you're involved up to your eyeballs in this case. All the evidence is on your shoulders right now. And a statement from someone related, yeah. Now we're going to send your swab to the lab. You know that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But we already have the gun barrel. And by now we've got the gun.
Yeah.
Because we got teams looking through your house and your dad's house. We didn't come over here. There's 15 people involved in this investigation going on right now.
Of course. You get us all coordinated on there in case you think I'm going to hide evidence. That's logically what you would do. It's logically what I would do.
And you're willing to take it to the edge, protecting Paige. You're willing to take the fall for this case right now.
I don't want to take the fall for
Because you're hand and foot. Your foot is in our hand. We have you.
Mhm.
You're going to jail. So you can protect Paige all you want,
I didn't kill anyone.
but you're going to jail.
What are you going to arrest me for?
First degree murder. Unless you want to tell us the truth.
You would have shackled me.
The truth.
You would have shackled me and taken me out of that house a lot differently on there.
Now the tone shifts. You're going to jail. This is a controlled escalation. The goal isn't anger, it's inevitability. When suspects feel the outcome is unavoidable, they often pivot from denial to damage control.
Maybe you didn't kill her. Maybe you didn't kill her. But you know a lot more than you're telling.
Do you know for a fact who did?
No, I don't.
Were you present that night?
No, I wasn't.
Do you know who was?
Answer carefully.
Answer honestly.
The best of my knowledge is that Paige had it arranged, that she had contracted it to kill in some way.
And who told you that?
Paige's conversations after the fact on there, and what she had said about how convenient it was and everything else on there. Did she ever come out clean and tell me that she arranged to have Des killed? She was careful about that and didn't say that. She hinted to that she had her taken care of on there.
Did she say how much money her contract was?
I don't know if it was for that. She didn't say. I don't know her finances beyond what I've helped her and given her. I thought she had it arranged in some way. She talked about people owing her favors like that from before. She did tell me once on the, if I ever crossed her, that,
Did you ever cross her, what would happen?
she'd have me taken care of.
So are you afraid to say anything that you're afraid you were going to be taken care of?
She told me on there that if I ever, crossed her or betrayed her on there, she'd have me taken care of. I took that to mean that she could have me killed.
On this specific issue?
No, not on this specific issue.
Has Paige ever shared with you the specifics about what happened to Desiree?
No.
Has anyone else ever talked to you about specifics about what happened to Desiree?
I don't know anyone that would know anything.
Notice how Marty tries to distance himself by suggesting Paige had it arranged. Detectives immediately block the attempt to shift blame to Dylan. This prevents him from building an alternative narrative and keeps the focus on what he personally knew.
So no.
So you're not necessarily protecting Paige, you're trying to protect yourself and your family from harm. So you're not going to tell us anything the truth. You're that scared of her? Because you know she's involved in one killing. Are you afraid of her?
Am I that afraid of her?
That's the question.
Yes, I am afraid of her. I'm petrified on there.
So is that why you're not telling us the truth? Is that what you're going to tell the judge?
I've told you everything I know on there about this. You think that I know more?
Yeah, I do. I mean, now you came up with that last little tidbit 2 hours and 5 minutes into that I'm afraid of her because she's threatened me. If I say anything, she's going to have me killed. That's powerful. And I would understand that.
Do you know what she's led me to believe about what she can do or what she could do? I mean, she's talked about the motorcycle gangs and the people that owe her favors. She's talked about Ivan Capatillo, who, son's father on there, what he was involved with. And how he had people taken care of on there. She's given me lots of reasons over the entire time I've known her to not try to cross her on there. That's the only reason why I never came forward before on anything on there.
Marty reframes himself as afraid of Paige, claiming she threatened him. This is significant. It transforms him from co-conspirator into reluctant participant. Whether true or strategic, this narrative introduces motive complexity and provides prosecutors insight into power dynamics.
He told you that he did it. Did he tell you how he got over here or any details that you can remember?
A rental car?
Rental car?
Because his car was in the shop for a few days, so he was in a rental car.
Okay.
And I remember the rental car. If I remember right, it was like a white rental car, and it was the same car as his car, if I remember right.
Okay.
And
Did he tell you how he got in the house?
No, that part I don't remember.
Did he tell you what she was wearing or where he shot her?
It was just multiple shots.
Just multiple shots.
Mm-hmm.
Did he take anything from the house?
I think he was trying to make it look like a robbery.
Yeah. So what did he take from the house?
I think it was a jewelry box.
When the second interview begins, the case changes completely. Stella confirms a direct confession. Entry into the house, multiple shots, rental car, jewelry box staging. This bridges the gap between circumstantial evidence and testimonial admission.
Appreciate that. I know it's tough for you. These nightmares and stuff.
And they're just going to get worse.
Because
I don't know what's going to happen.
If you remember anything, would you call me?
Because now I don't know what's going to happen to me and my son. Because Marty does know a lot of people. I just don't know who he would.
Do you think he told anybody else?
I don't.
Okay.
I just don't know what's going to happen to me and my job. And
That's right. Do you have anything with him?
No. Is everything that you've told us truthful and accurate to Mr. Knowledge? Is there any force used or threats or promises made to make you give this statement?
So what's going to happen to Marty?
Well, Marty's getting booked into jail this afternoon for first-degree murder. And then it's going to, who knows what will happen in the court system. I don't know how things will play out. These things can kind of take on a life of their own. But the investigation will continue, and it's anybody's guess where it'll go from here. Okay. This time I'll conclude the statement. The time right now is 14:27 hours, and I am Detective Sam Pearl.
Despite powerful evidence, the state accepted a plea agreement. With witness uncertainties and trial risks, prosecutors secured 15 years for second-degree murder. It wasn't the maximum penalty, but it guaranteed accountability. In the end, forensic detail and overlapping testimony Marty Grismer, the man implicated in the 2013 killing of 30-year-old art teacher Desiree Sunford in Yakima County, ultimately received a 15-year prison sentence after entering an Alford plea in late 2017. Under this plea, Grismer did not admit guilt, but acknowledged that prosecutors had enough evidence to likely secure a conviction at trial, allowing the state to amend his original aggravated first-degree murder charge to second-degree murder in exchange for the sentence. Reports indicate that part of the state's case included ballistics matches between shell casings found at the crime scene and a firearm barrel linked to Grismer's workplace, as well as cell phone activity and witness testimony placing him in the victim's home at the relevant time. Today, Grismer served his term at the Washington State Penitentiary in Walla Walla. reflecting a negotiated resolution to a complex case rooted in obsessive motive and circumstantial forensic proof.